On Monday, Maui County will become the first county in the state to require a booster to be considered fully vaccinated.
Now joining us live is Maui Chamber of Commerce President Pamela Tumpop. Thank you so much, Pamela, for joining us. So how do you think this new definition of being fully vaccinated will affect businesses in Maui County?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. Thank you so much for having us on. This new mandate, which we're calling a vaccine update, is what the county is calling us, is really geared towards restaurant, bars, and what they consider to be high-risk businesses in the area. And we're at a time when we're seeing our case counts really rise. Yesterday, we were at 1,067, which was the highest ever, and that was confirmed in probable cases. And Mayor Victorino has been working with industry groups, working to not reduce capacity for those affected industries. We don't want to pull back, and yet we need to be consistent with the CDC's recommendations of being up to date and wanting to protect our community while also keeping businesses open to the extent that they are. And so industries have been spoken to with the mayor. We've spoken to industries. We've been sharing consistent feedback of those most impacted. And other industries are concerned as well, even though they're not impacted the same way. We're hearing from some industries that were never shut down during the pandemic because they were essential services. But this is, so they maybe don't feel the same way about getting vaccinated. But when the bars, restaurants, and many of our other gyms and many of our other businesses were completely shut down and saw extreme losses, they are more willing to work with, that doesn't mean all agree with everything, but they're more willing to work with mandates that help keep them open and their capacity available versus having to pull back further during times like this when our numbers are skyrocketing.
And Pam, the mayor has gotten the message out to the local people, the residents, but what about the visitors who go to Maui? And, do you think this is going to have an impact on the tourism industry there?
Every time we have a mandate or a new update, there's always confusion and there's always concern. So the county is updating the website. This goes into effect on Monday. So the chamber has been reminding people that it's been coming. We did a special blast again today. And I know the county is working on their websites. I know the state is also going to be working on some of the websites as well that educate the visitors. And it's going to be one of those things that, again, it's one more thing that they need to do and check, but we're working on publishing ways to make it easier. If you have a booster, you can look at uploading it to the Safe Travels program. We encourage people to, again, take pictures of their vaccination card as well as the booster, so you have it all in one place. If you have many pictures on your phone like me, maybe you don't want it in the long stream of pictures, but you can set aside a special folder so that you can easily access it. And for those that are keeping up with the vaccine mandate, then, it won't be too impactful. For those who have not wanted to keep up with the vaccine mandate, it's going to be a challenge. And there is definitely concern by those affected industries that there will be some revenue loss, but we're having to juggle some revenue loss against pulling back further. And there's no easy answer in all of this. Not everybody agrees, but we're trying to find that balance and winning solutions and find ways to educate our visitors. We're also at a time right now, many people don't realize, we keep hearing how everybody is saying, businesses really recovered this past year. And we had great times, but not all of those great times made up for all of the shortcomings from the prior year when we were completely shut down, particularly in these industries. And our hotel accommodations capacity is way down right now. We always see a lull after the holidays, but the hotels are reporting that they're at 20 to 30% capacity. Wow. Versus 75% in January of 2019. So, this is maybe not, we don't want to say anytime we have to add another level to the mandates and to keep changing things, it's all a challenge, but this is not a terrible time to do this when the visitor industry is at a much lower percentage than they normally would have been at this time of year. That's an extreme hardship they're facing, but they also acknowledge that they want to keep open, and they're willing to work with our mayor and our community to try and keep everyone safe and try and reduce these numbers as quickly as possible.
Yeah, Pamela, we're starting to run out of time, but you kind of touched on it. The response that from the businesses that you've talked to, do they feel, okay, we'll do it for the mayor, we want to get this coronavirus under control? What is their feeling right now about having to incorporate this booster into the requirements?
You know, the majority of people we talk to are wanting to be a part of the team, and really they see the worker shortages from Omicron. They're seeing it and heavily impacted. So they're recognizing that measures like this can help. That doesn't mean, though, that, you know, especially in the restaurants, having to do sort of the enforcement issue is a challenge for them. They have to look at the documentation. They've got to make sure it's correct. Now they've got to look at another piece of documentation. So, and that takes also staffing as well. But on the whole, given what they're seeing with worker shortages that have been increased, and so many of the other battles that they're facing during COVID, you know, supply chain issues and new mandates this coming legislative session, they're really just trying to get back to having the best economic 2020 year they can,
okay,
and recover from the past 2 years.
Okay. Well,
you know, keep everybody healthy and safe.
And that's the bottom line right there. Keep everybody healthy and safe.
Oh, thank you so much, Pamela, and we'll see how things work out starting on Monday. That was.
Thank you so much, Rick and Marissa. We appreciate you. Aloha.
Okay, that was
Thanks.
Chamber of Commerce President Pamela Toonpop.